What's up, guys? This is JTQ9 of A-XMN, and welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of Misery Likes Company. If you caught my last war video, you know that I died twice. I was not very happy with it. So this one here, I believe this war fell on the American Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving to all my American counterparts. We celebrate ours in a month earlier in October, but for all of you, I know it's a special time of year for everyone, and just wanted to wish you the best to all of you and your family. So in this one here, Dragon Man, I thought Penny could take him. So I was trying to build to a standard kind of Penny cycle, trying to bait out any special they would have, so I wouldn't push them to 3 bars of power. And it was going a little slower. I probably should have parried him a little bit more to try to get a little bit more power gain on power steal off him, but as per usual, I think I forgot to trigger the Conflictor before throwing the SP2. So the SP2 did some damage, but it didn't kill him. And for some reason, I had the invulnerable boost on, that's why I wasn't necessarily concerned about that. But again, those little subtle mistakes that, you know, you just get comfortable using certain champs and taking certain fights that you kind of forget some of the fundamentals, and that's obviously not something that I like to do. So anyway, in this case, he still went down. You know, one little close call there, but again, that's why we put the invulnerability boost on. And on to the next one. So with a Mega Sentinel, I don't believe I've taken her here before, but I've taken her enough in Battlegrounds with Cosmic Ghost Rider that I was relatively confident with this fight. I know I just had to build to, you know, my SP2 and then spam it a bunch of times, get the armor breaks on, and then just kind of let the power back. Why did you do that? Anyway, it's the first time watching this back in a week or so. I haven't had time to do the voiceovers, and just when you... Maybe I thought his SP2 was unblockable like his SP1, but anyway, in any case, he still went down, or she still went down, so was happy with that overall. Now we're getting to the fun parts. So on this one here with the Penny fight, I have taken her before. With Penny, I have taken her... I don't think I've taken her with CGR before. And I think in this one, I think the war was already lost, to be perfectly honest, at this point in time. Or very close to. And I decided to give Cosmic Ghost Rider a chance to see if I could kind of nuke her down quickly, just to see what would happen. Throwing the special into her protocol is never a good thing, but anyway, she ended up going down relatively quickly anyway, so in the end I wasn't too disappointed with that result. I think the next time I'm looking to take that fight, I'll probably just go back to using Penny on Penny and just being super safe and whatnot, because you know, taking the SP3s is never ideal. And anyway, so yeah, this next fight here, I had a strategy going in. It was pretty ugly, I'm not gonna lie. There was probably a lot that I could have done differently. My goal initially was to, and after doing some duels and stuff, was I knew that his kind of his temperature would go up, but it wouldn't necessarily affect anything because Penny's immune. So regardless of how hot it got, it didn't really matter as long as I didn't push him to an SP3 and get the Incinerates on me, or the Nova Flame. So my strategy at the time was pretty straightforward, I thought, or at least my intention was to essentially just keep throwing the SP1, get some power burns on him, don't push him to the SP3 as much as possible, evade the specials where I can, and if I needed to, yeah, throw the occasional SP3 on my own end. But the most important thing of this fight is just don't push him to an SP3. If you push him to an SP3, it's going to cause some issues. So again, halfway through the fight, 3 minutes 30 left, I thought I was in still good shape. You know, I was evading some specials, you know, not taking too much damage or block damage. trying to avoid, well, because Connect Transference still can kick in, but now I'm getting cornered. And there, I don't know why. I just, it makes no sense to me why I was like, oh, I know he has one last touch before he goes bar red. So let's just hit it anyway. Let's see what happens. So obviously I took a nice death there. Was not happy with it. So in that case, I have to now revive and spend, what, 5 potions, 100,000 worth of loyalty, just to get her up to a reasonable bar of health. So, you know, I still care about my war fights and don't want to just give away free kills if I don't have to. So I heal up, I put the boosts on and do all that, and then after that he cooperates really well and just goes down. So there, done, just a dumb death. So at this point I was boosted, a little tilted. I saw the Apoco there. No one had really claimed any kind of mini bosses at this point, because like I said before, it was the American Thanksgiving. So I was like, oh, I've taken Conflictor before with Penny. I know typically she shuts it down for the most part, and we'll just we'll see what happens. So going in, I was confident with the fight. I thought I could do well. I have taken this node before, so it's not like I was new to it. And especially since I've been kind of dealing with Conflictor in Tier 1 on Lane 7, it wasn't too bad. And honestly, I don't remember what really happened in this fight. So we're just going to watch part of it through. Again, I was trying to build to a typical Penny cycle. I know I wanted to make sure that I was trying to kind of do a medium light medium, or a light medium light, just because I didn't want to have too much prowess on him. So if he was to throw a special kind of into my block, that it didn't do a ton of damage, while I was still building up to my SP2. So in hindsight, what I should have probably done was thrown a couple more SP1s to get my spider charges up a little bit higher to really do maximum damage. Because when I threw the SP2, yeah, I ended up getting 13 incinerates on him, which was pretty decent. But I think just for the size of his health pool, to really kind of get that TKO at the end of it, would have been better just to have thrown maybe one extra SP1, maybe get up to 15, 16, 17, and then all of a sudden I wouldn't have been kind of so worried with it. But overall, I was pretty happy with the fight, how it went. As you can see, I've been kind of control from basically the whole time. Yes, I took some chip damage here and there, and went from there. So now riding that high with Penny, I was like, you know what? Rinshaw shouldn't be an issue. Play him a lot in Battlegrounds. And no one again called for him. I believe, again, like I'd mentioned before when I kind of started my second, my Tier 2 fights, the war was, I don't want to say it was over, but it was more or less over. So we decided to, you know what, give it a shot. Let's go in. The one thing I failed to do the entire time was knock him down. So I made the absolute rookie mistake of not clearing his charges. So he would go unstoppable, which is always a pain, especially if you're trying to throw a special. Blockable part's not bad, and then obviously with these got Mystic Dispersion on and the power gain, I'm constantly just baiting specials out. Again, I should have utilized more heavies, because here, oh no, that one actually landed. So the first one was okay, but just didn't really get any major stubs or major damage on it. So I probably should have had a SP2 boost back, like a power back boost on, or at least if I didn't, maybe a 200 instead of a 150, and not, you know, run into heavies constantly. But again, trying to build back up the Spidey charges, so now it's going to be a longer fight. Take some shots to the head, and I forget exactly what or when it ended up happening, but because at this point the fight, yeah, it was going a little bit longer. You know, we're a minute and a half in and he's not even below 50% yet. So I think as I was fighting this, I remember being like, oh yeah, this is why this fight never kind of gets assigned, because there's obviously better options for here. I forget who was banned. Maybe Torch would have been, well, obviously would have been better, but now I'm kind of cornered and not in a good spot. I get He gets pushed to an SP3, unfortunately, and then I am dead. So yeah, 2 deaths again in back-to-back wars. Not happy about that. Again, because I don't like dying for the Alliance. We, well, at least we weren't in like the 60s and 70s in terms of deaths this time, so at least the fight was a little bit closer, but in the end we ended up losing. So that was part 2 of 3, so you can only imagine what's coming on the next one as well. So thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you on that next one. Take care.